Here is a BAFX Products digital sound level meter. Picked this one up on Amazon. I think it was less than $20, and it was the best one that I could find. Had the best reviews anyway. And I bought this because when we do the world's quietest 12-inch fan face-off battle competition, we need something to measure that with. I don't want to do that video and then end up just using my own opinion of which fans I think are the quietest. We need to set some controls for this and have some way to measure it, some reliable way to measure it, so we're not just going off of my personal opinion. And I thought this would be good for that, and it seems to work just fine. Turn it on. Now when I start talking, you can see it's reading the noise levels. So the ambient decibels in the room is about 34 to 35 decibels. So the Rowenta Extreme Turbo Silencer fan, those are rated at 38 decibels. So one of the reasons that I bought this one was because this actually goes as low as 30 decibels. Most of these decibel meters or sound level meters, they start at 35 decibels. This one starts at 30. So I thought 35 decibels, that's cutting it a little close when we're talking about fans that are rated at 38 decibels and could potentially go quieter than that. 35 is cutting it pretty close, so I thought 30 would be good. This thing had pretty good reviews. And I like that it has this maximum minimum function where if you hit the max button, it will lock in on whatever the maximum decibel reading is. So we'll set it to max. And then as I'm talking here, it'll gradually pick up on the loudest tones in my voice. You can see 79.1, and then when it gets quieter, it's not reading that because it's got the loudest reading locked in there. So if I talk even louder, it'll pick up on that. And then the same thing with the minimum. It'll lock in on whatever the lowest decibel reading is. So it'll lock in on that ambient temperature there, and as I'm talking here, it's not picking up on that because it's got the lowest decibel reading already locked in. And I think that's what we're going to use to measure the fan decibels. We're going to use that minimum setting. And I think that should work out pretty good, but we have to set some other controls for that to make sure that we're taking the reading from the same distance every time and stuff like that. Got to be able to control the noise in the environment here, and yeah, it should be fun. I'm excited to use this for other things too. Other fan comparisons, high velocity fans, even the little desk fans. Box fans, probably take this thing to work with me so I can scare myself into wearing earplugs. Yeah, I think this is going to end up being a really good purchase. There's a lot of different things that I could end up using this for. Not just for the world's quietest fan contest, but anyway, this is the model BAFX3370, runs on a 9-volt battery. It's got the little microphone thing here, and it's pretty simple to use. Seems to work just fine. I think it's definitely good enough to run our little contest here. Here's the instructions, but there's not much to it. The operations manual, a couple pages of stuff. Don't really have any use for it. But we'll give a little demonstration of how I think this is going to work out. So this is the Rowenta. Which one is this? This is the turbo silence fan. It's not the extreme turbo silence fan. So this one was actually rated at 40 decibels on the lowest setting, and the extreme ones are rated at 38. And I think the white Rowenta fan that I showed a few weeks ago was actually the quietest one, so that's probably going to be the one that I'm going to use for our little contest coming up against a few vintage 12-inch fans. Not sure exactly which ones those are going to be yet, but I've got a pretty good idea. But we'll give a demonstration of this one and see how accurate the decibel rating is on this. And I don't really know how Rowenta tested their fans, so I mean, we could be like way off here. I don't know. But this is what I want to do. We need to set a consistent height reference. So I thought this Acrobins box would be a good way to set a consistent height. And then I was kind of looking around here to see what we could use to set the distance, and I came up with the paintbrush. So what I'm going to do is basically just use the paintbrush here, butt it up against right in between where the guard meets the motor housing there, and then just set it against the front of the decibel meter. That's what we're going to use to control our distance. And then our height is always going to be the same. So I'm going to set this on, I'm going to have to turn the fan on first, and then I'm going to set this to the minimum setting, and we're going to start it on the turbo boost speed and work our way down to the silence speed. And you'll see the decibel readout gradually get smaller. And then when we get down to the lowest setting, we'll just kind of wait there for 10 seconds or so and see what the lowest readout ends up being. So turn this on turbo boost. I'll turn this on, and then we'll set it to the minimum. So I'm in, and the turbo boost is 63.1. So the lowest speed on this is rated at 40 decibels. So we'll see how close we get to that. I think we're about 10 inches away from the fan. I didn't want to put it in the front of the fan, obviously, because of the windscreen. But I thought this would be a good place to take the measurement from for this one and for all the other fans in our contest coming up. So we'll drop it down to 3 now. We're down to 59.3, so we'll go to 2. Now we're at 51.6. Okay, now we'll drop it down to the lowest setting and see how quiet it gets. Remember, it's rated for 40. Alright, so we're at 40.4. That is pretty accurate. That's exciting. Because if the decibel rating for the fan is accurate, then I think our measurement here is even better than I expected it to be. I think our distance is probably pretty good, our height's good. 40.4, and I think the white Rowenta fan is even quieter than this one, so I think that one's going to be pretty accurate too. I think it should come out below 40 at least. Alright, well, just for giggles, we'll see what the Galaxy fan over here comes out at. Alright, well, I'm just going to stop the video for right now, and I'm going to get the Galaxy fan set up over here, and then we'll do a readout on that one too. Alright, so we've got the Galaxy fan set up here, plugged in, and we've got the sound level meter set on our height gauge here, and then we've got our distance here with the paintbrush. Looks good. So I'm going to turn the Galaxy fan on high speed now, and then we'll set the sound level meter to our minimum readout setting, high. Alright, so we're 56.5 on high speed. So this is quieter than the turbo boost on the other fan. Drop it to medium. About 49.8, so we'll go down to low. And we're right at about 43. So the other fan was right at, so like 40 or 40.4. I think I'm gonna have to write these down when we actually do the little contest thing. Forty-three decibels is the Galaxy fan. 40.4 was the Rowenta. So, and the white Rowenta fan I think is going to be below 40. I think that's going to be more like the 38 that it's rated at. This one was at 43. So, as you can see, we need to find some quieter fans to stand a chance against the Rowenta Extreme Silencer Turbo fans. Thankfully, I think I've got a few. It's going to be close. It's going to be real close, I think. But yeah, this is a good purchase, I think. I'm going to have fun with this, especially when we start looking at high velocity fans. Check out the decibel levels on some of the patent fans versus some of the other high velocity fans. Even the little 6-inch desk fans. It'll be fun to get measurements on those too. Lots of different fan comparisons we could do here. A lot of other applications too. Yeah, in any case, I think this is definitely worth it. Definitely worth the 15 or 20 bucks I paid for this. Seems to be pretty accurate. Hopefully it's reliable and doesn't break or fail on me anytime soon. Just runs on a 9-volt battery and seems easy enough to use. I think if you keep it clean, don't beat it up or anything, it should be fine. Got your max and min setting, or you could just leave it to measure whatever's happening in the room at the time. Yeah, that is the BAFX Products Digital Sound Level Meter. Thank you for watching.